guys, I'm Andrea. I'm the owner of the Crafty Therapist Corner, and I just wanted to come on and make a video about something I experienced a few weeks ago in regards to a vendor market. And I made this video because, as one who does vendor markets, I actually went to a vendor market as a customer because, one, I wanted to see what the market would be like if I wanted to participate, and two, what it's like being on the other side as a customer. And it gave me a really big experience and gave me food for thought about how I should operate when I am a vendor at vendor markets. So I thought I'd just share with you because I don't know, it might help someone and see what happens. But I can't talk. 2 to 3 weeks ago, I went and attended a vendor market, and it was in a pretty prestigious area, and it was really nice, and I loved it. The food was great. They had a lot of vendors. It was very well organized. Again, I was a customer. I went with my husband and my daughter, and we had a really good time. Now, I will say the experience of being a customer is very different from being a vendor because it was like I got to be on the other side of walking into people's booths and seeing their setups, and it was really cool to be on the other side. However, I will say there was a lot of interactions that I thought, wondered, have I done this before? Or do people feel like this when they walk into my booth? And for example, I've walked into multiple booths where no one said hi, no one made eye contact. They just continued to do what they were doing. It's fine if they were talking to other customers, but when someone walks into your booth, I feel like you should greet everyone or at least make eye contact, even if you're putting things away. And as a therapist myself, I understand that people are introverted and everyone doesn't always have, social cues or picks up on them. But I feel like when you run a business, especially a small business, it's important to communicate and interact with your customer because you never know what opportunity that would bring or what sale that would make. Like, I feel like I have people come into my booth and it wasn't really the type of stuff they were interested in, but because I made conversation, they maybe bought a gift for someone else. And I'm not even saying it's all about the money, but it's how you make people feel. And at this particular market, I did not feel very welcomed in most booths. And most people, again, didn't say hello. They didn't make eye contact. I honestly wanted to purchase some things, but I didn't because they didn't speak. And I feel like, that should be vendor market 101. And I will say, when I first started out, I was in the impression that you let people enter your booth and browse. You don't bother them. You speak to them if they speak to you. But I realize now how uncomfortable that is because you're like, am I inconveniencing the person? Do they, I'm like, do they want to make a sale? Do they want to tell me about their things? Like, can I ask them a question? And again, and then being a black vendor and a black customer, especially in a prestigious area, you don't know. Like, do they think I don't have money? Do they think I'm not interested in their stuff? And I feel like, I wouldn't have stopped in if I wasn't interested. I did buy a couple of things from people because, again, they spoke to me. They said hello. They didn't even have to go beyond hello, but I just feel like if you said hello or even made eye contact and just, smiled, I felt welcomed in your booth. And if you didn't, I feel like you didn't want me there for whatever reason, and I just left without making a purchase, even if I really wanted it. So I just wanted to make a video to point out that speak to everyone who walks in your booth. One, is just out of respect, and two, you just never know what connections you might make or how you'll make a person feel. Again, as a therapist, I know that people are introverted. Some people, don't want to interact with other people. I've had people walk into my booth and I spoke and they didn't say anything. And I know that I talk fairly low, so I usually try to repeat myself maybe 2 times, maybe 3. And if you don't speak back, then I'm like, okay, that person doesn't want to be bothered. But again, I just want to make everyone feel welcome. So I hope this video helps someone and gives them a little food for thought. And this is not meant to bash anyone, but just given my experience as a customer and a vendor market person or person who does vendor markets, that this is just a little bit of food for thought. So I hope this helps, and I would love to hear about your vendor experiences as a customer or as a vendor. Feel free to leave a comment below. Thanks. Bye.